It was Valentine's Day, 2018, when 17 students and teachers were gunned down at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. One of those students was Jamie Guttenberg, the only daughter of Fred Guttenberg, who, even in his desperate grief, has tried to find meaning from this tragedy, thanks to, he says, countless acts of generosity and support. His new book is called Find the Helpers: What 9/11 and Parkland Taught Me About Recovery, Purpose, and Hope. And Fred Guttenberg joins me now from Florida. Fred, it's always great to see you. We always appreciate talking to you. And we've followed your journey through the desperate grief for the past 2.5 years. And the idea that you have written a book and come out at least this far on the other side is so remarkable. And it gives so many people strength. And so when you say, what Parkland taught me, what is that?
You know, and I'm glad you asked that. What it taught me is across this country how amazing people are. We are living in this completely bizarre, surreal moment where, you know, I can't ignore what's going on. There is a group that is destructive, that is dangerous, and that is trying to tear us apart. But that's not who's across the country. And across the country, what I've met are amazing people, both in communities or running for office or in media or in other walks of life, who are amazing, who want to do great things, who want this country to fulfill its promise, and who believe in this country's democracy, and who are willing to do what they need to bring us back to a point of civility and decency. And my book is about the hope that they give me.
Oh my gosh, Fred. I mean, it just says so much about you that even in the darkest days, that you can see the goodness in other people. I just want to read a portion of your book. You say it's true what they say. Grief is love with no place to go. When you lose someone or something, you have all these feelings that no longer have a destination. The feelings just seep out of you like air in a drafty house. To get by, you have to find people to help you. You have to find your helpers. They will be the fuel to keep you going, the spark to get you started again. So who are those, Fred? Who are the helpers?
Well, you know, listen, and I'm glad you asked that question, because in this time of COVID, I think this is important for everybody. And for me, it is those who are closest to me. It's the family and friends who were part of my life before February 14th, but this amazing community of people across the country who came into my life after. It's those who are fighting for gun safety because they want to save you. They want to save your children, those you love. But let's face it, one of them, and the person who gave me the most meaningful, helpful advice that has carried me forward, is the person who I expect will be the next president of the United States, and that's Joe Biden.
What did he say, Fred? What did he say to you? What was that message?
You know, he reached out to me 10 days or so after Jamie was killed, and he wanted to know about me, about my family, and he wanted to know what my plan was. And I really didn't have a plan other than to say to him, I want to break that effing gun lobby. And from there, he started talking to me about mission and purpose and how that got him through grief. He also spoke to me about how families need to be aware of the fact that we all grieve differently. And he wanted me to understand how important it is to be aware of that and to plan for it so that we can go forward together, grieving differently, but supporting one another. He got to such deep places with me that to this day, it blows me away. However, in going across the country, as I've told this story, it is amazing to me how many other people have said, he did that for me as well, because that's who he is.
Fred, I mean, you're such a pillar of strength, my goodness, but it couldn't have been easy to write this book and to revisit all of that. And so how have you gotten through the hardest days since then?
You know, writing actually is cathartic for me. And writing this book and getting things off my chest has been probably one of the things that helped to save me over the past 2.5 years. But it's in big ways and small. You know, listen, I talk about how on really bad days, how I get through it is with a helper who never even knew he was a helper to me. And it's my favorite musician. I would get in the car, I would drive, I would turn on my Billy Joel music, I would clear my head. But to get through every single day, it is with the love and support of people who come into my life. It is also knowing that I am part of a process that is going to culminate on November 3rd and lead us to a place where we're going to get to pass gun safety and finally be able to start taking the steps necessary to save lives. We have failed at that for far too long. That's going to change on November 3rd. I know this country is going to turn out as helpers. They're going to show up. They are going to vote. If we vote, we move forward and we fix this.
Fred, it's wonderful to talk to you. You've given all of us strength through all of this. You've been such a beacon for so many people in the country. The book, again, is Find the Helpers, What 9/11 and Parkland Taught Me About Recovery, Purpose, and Hope. Fred, we'll talk to you soon. Great to see you.
Alisyn, as always, thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
And you. Thank you.